Hey folks, welcome back to Green Iron TV. We're in the middle of winter here, and it's cold, it's snowy. And we're not going to get a lot done in the garage. Like always and so forth like that, I usually, in the winter, I have some other projects. I have some other little hobbies that I work on. And so what we're going to do is we're going to take a bit of a left turn here. And although we're not going to work on the full-size military vehicles, we're going to take a dive into one of the hobbies I work on in the winter, and that is building scale models. And I have a habit of building scale models that represent the military vehicles and the interest of military vehicles that I have. I currently build mainly Cold War and Vietnam era military vehicles, just like my real collection. And so in the past, I've built all kinds of them. We'll insert a couple pictures here of some that we've built over the last several winters and so forth. And that's going to bring me to today. So, like I said, we're going to take a left turn here, and we're going to switch gears, and we're going to work on some stuff inside the house, at my workbench at the house. And what we're going to do is we're going to work on AFV Club's 1/35th scale M54A2 gun truck, the Eve of Destruction. This is the only surviving gun truck from the Vietnam War. It was brought back to the United States, and it's on display at Fort Estes here in the United States. And it's a real testament to the ingenuity of our GIs and the ability to get stuff done. So we're going to get working on this now. AFV Club did release a regular M54A2 a couple years ago. I did build that one already. And so now that we're familiar with it a little bit, we're going to go ahead and we're going to build the gun truck version, Eve of Destruction. So that's what's going to be coming up here on Green Iron TV. So I appreciate all you that are going to stick around and survive through this little bit of change of pace here. We're still working on some green iron, although the gun truck is they're actually painted flat black. But we're going to be still working on some military iron. It's just going to be in a little bit different scale. So sit back, enjoy, and hopefully you enjoy this. And like always, please check out the link below for the merchandise that we have in our store. We have all kinds of Green Iron TV shirts, sweatshirts, hats, and I've also added some more stuff on the M715, M725 ambulance, M30 8A1 Jeeps, of just some specific, more generic shirts with those vehicles on them and so forth like that, so that people can enjoy them. So check that out in the link below, and make sure you help out, support the channel by nabbing a shirt or a sweatshirt, and we appreciate it. And sit back and enjoy. Thanks. Okay, so one of the things we're going to get started on is we're going to build AFV Club's M54A2 gun truck, the Eve of Destruction. So this is a big kit, a lot of stuff in there, and I am going to add a few things. So I have a a RT524 radio to go in there because the kit doesn't include one, and the original truck definitely had one in it. I have some drivers, some cast resin drivers and passenger to go in the front, and some cast resin crew members from a kit. And so I'm only going to use a couple of the members here and a couple of the accessory pieces so that we can kind of outfit a crew for this truck. So that's what we're going to plan for, and that's what we're going to work with. Inside this box, there's quite a lot. We got the full instruction booklet, and then several sheets of sprue. That's all ammo cans and weapons. Some more bits and pieces. Like I said, this is a reissue of their standard M54A2 truck, which I've already built before, and this is just with the upgrade to run it as a gun truck. You have your decal sheet, winch cable, some photo etch details, lots and lots of sprues, and one of the important sprues is going to be this one here, which has all the parts for the gun truck, so all the armor plate and all that. So that's an important one. So we're going to get started on this, and we're going to build the chassis, and then we'll work up from there. Okay, build a bunch of the sub-assemblies here for the frame. Got the winch, the motor, transfer case, all that built. Time to assemble the frame, and so we're going to do that bit by bit. I have everything laid out in the order, that way we can put it all together and make it look good. This is one of the trickiest parts of the build because this dictates how everything fits together in the end. So the better this all fits together, the better off we are in the end. Alright, now we'll join the back halves together, and that'll still leave us some flexibility to do the front. So Okay, a little fiddling around there to make sure everything gets lined up, but we do now have that all set. So we do have the main chassis all built, transfer cases all in and mounted, and it's time to move on, and we'll do some suspension and keep working our way across this chassis. Okay, we've built a bunch of the sub-assemblies, got a bunch of pieces all laid out here to finish on this chassis. Now, one of the things we did do is we did have to move this motor in the transfer case because there's two tabs in there that looks like the motor fits in, and down inside the frame rail, and the motor tabs kind of fit in there, but that relocates the motor too far backwards. So luckily, before everything had set and dried, we were able to figure that out, move the motor back forward, move the transfer case back to the original position we had it before we kind of shoved it back. So anybody that's building this kit, one of the good things to do would be the PTO drive shaft for the winch. All right, go ahead and mount that on the motor, and that will help give you your distance at where to set that motor. So that's a good idea. So if you want, put that on, and that'll give you all your proper distances. So in the meantime, we're going to go ahead now, and we're going to go ahead and get the front axle built. Well, we have it built, but we're going to get the front axle attached. We'll get the rear axles attached, and we'll get the toolboxes attached, and that'll pretty much get this sub-assembly of the rolling chassis finalized, and we can move on to working on some of the body pieces. So okay, that's going to get this whole basic chassis built. Everything's all lined up and looking good. We can move on now, and we're going to start working on building the body for this thing. So that's what we're going to work on. Okay, with the chassis completed, let's move on. We're going to work on the cab next. So we got all the bits and pieces for the cab out, cleaned up and ready. I went ahead and did some small stuff, the levers, pedals, controls. So some of that small stuff out of the way, and we'll start putting the cab together. All right, well, that's going to build the main part of the cab. We'll move on now and work on maybe building the rear cargo box. All right, we got all the parts for the bed cut out, trimmed up, ready. Now we'll go ahead and put the bed together. That gets a lot of the bed made. So at least I got to put the rails on the bottom and then work on the armor for in the back. But you know, as you can see, we're definitely chipping away at it. And you know, we'll be getting this thing together soon and getting it painted. So once we get these couple of these major sub-assemblies all finished up, we'll go ahead and we'll start painting. This is going to be a very simplistic paint job because these trucks are all flat black. We'll do the underside and all that in a flat black, but I will probably do the box sides and the hoods and stuff like that in a gloss black, and then put the decals on and then matte over top of that. That's how we'll do that. Okay, guys, got most of the major components built, cab all finished, the main structure of the bed finished, chassis all done. So we're at a point here where, you know, we're going to go ahead and get these pieces all in primer, and then continue on working on our next steps, which will be then building the armor for the rear and getting it fully outfitted. We've got the cab, chassis, main part of the bed all primered up. So we're going to go ahead now and we're going to work on the armor. We got most of the armor built, but we got to go ahead and get it installed. So we're going to clean up a couple spots so we can get this glued in and get this armor mounted. And our armor's all built in the back. We'll move on, build the armored doors and a few other bits and pieces. Keep working our way across. Okay, everything's primed. Box is all assembled. Major assembly on the box is all done. Armored doors, all the pieces like that. So next step, we're going to go ahead and we're going to paint the box sides, the hoods, the doors, and a few things that are going to get decals. We're going to go ahead and paint those with a gloss black, and then we'll put a flat over that once we have them decaled. So, okay, now that we got some gloss black laid out across the vehicle, before we can button up the interior, we needed to go ahead and start configuring the figures for the back. So we have a driver out of the Hobby Fan kit, and then some of the passengers out of one of the other NAMM kits. And so we're gonna have, he'll be riding shotgun, sitting there holding a rifle. We're gonna have him sitting here leaning against the radio. He's gonna be sitting in the back, sitting on a Marmite can. And then of course this guy's gonna be standing here having a cigarette, having a smoke, with his flak jacket off and draped over the edge of the armor. So, you know, what I want is I kind of want a casual pose, like these guys are sitting and, you know, waiting to either head out, or they're in the middle of a convoy halt, or something like that. So that's what we're kind of aiming for with the look. You know, this is not going to be a combat look with guys on guns and stuff like that. It's going to give just the regular look, like they're just they're waiting to get rolling. So, okay, some more progress. We've been working on the interior of the cab. Got the seats all mounted. Got our two crew members that are going to be riding in that front, all built and primed. We worked on the dash panel, getting all the gauges and placards, and we've built the dual 50s for the back. Built a bunch of the ammo cans that lie in the bottom of the armor, you know, bed portion. So we'll work on next is getting all that laid in there, and we're just keep chipping away. Okay, we have the truck pretty well fully assembled, ready to go. All the major components are assembled, painted on the vehicle. We have all our armaments built, started painting on those. A little generic painting on the figures with some leftover paint as I was doing it. So next, we're going to move on to all the fine details, and then the washes and weathering. Put some decals on this vehicle. But that's all going to be handled in our next episode. So we're going to actually do this as a two-parter. So I want to thank everybody for watching along to start with. We're have all of the major parts of this built. And like I said, for part 2, we're going to work on all the little finished details, the finished paint, the decals, and then do some weathering on this truck. Now, one of the things I see all the time, which kind of drives me nuts a little bit, is everybody wants to get a little crazy on the weathering and heavy chips, heavy rust, heavy stuff like that all over vehicles. And that's just not realistic for U.S. Army military vehicles. The vehicles were very well taken care of. They were repainted often at the motor pool level. So they didn't get that really dingy, heavy faded, heavy chips, heavy rust and stuff like that. But what they did do is they got dirty. And so that's the big thing we're going to work on. We're going to dirty this vehicle up. We're going to make it look like it's been traveling up and down some roads and has quite a bit of accumulated dust and debris and stuff like that built up along it. And that's how we're going to weather it out. So but you're going to have to sit back and wait for that in part 2. So like always, I want to thank you guys for watching, following along. I know this was a little bit of well, it wasn't a little bit. This was a pretty big departure from what we normally handle here on Green Iron TV, where we're normally, working on the big full-size vehicles. So Mother Nature dictates we, work on something small scale and what we can work on here at the workbench for the winter, and we'll get this done. I want to thank everybody for following along and watching. And like always, please give us a like, leave a comment, and if you haven't already, please hit that subscribe button. We appreciate all you guys, and thank you all for following along. And don't forget to check out the link down below for all our cool Green Iron merchandise, t-shirts, hats, sweatshirts, stickers, all kinds of cool things. So check it out, and thanks a lot, and you guys have a good day.